was standing by the tree, looking at its fruit. It was beautiful, unlike any of the others in the garden. And as I looked, I felt a presence, a voice close by, soft but unsettling.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?
It was the serpent. His words were smooth, almost curious. I answered,
We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said, You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die.
The serpent's eyes glinted as he spoke again.
You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like Him, knowing good and evil.
I hesitated, looking at the fruit. What would it be like to know what God knows? To be wise? To understand good and evil? The fruit looked so good, so perfect, and the serpent's words stuck with me.
You will not surely die.
I reached out and picked it. The skin was smooth in my hand, and I could feel my heart pounding. I took a bite. At that moment, something shifted. I felt different, exposed. I looked around and everything seemed clearer, but somehow darker too. I handed the fruit to Adamu, and he took a bite as well. And then he looked at me, and I could see he felt it too. We were bare, naked. It hadn't mattered before, but now it did. We were ashamed, suddenly aware of ourselves in a way we had never been before. We rushed to find leaves, stitching them together to try and cover ourselves. Then we heard it, the sound of God walking in the garden. We had always felt joy at that sound, but this time it filled me with dread. We tried to hide among the trees, hoping he wouldn't see us. But then he called out, Adamu, Adamu,
Where are you?
Adamu answered, his voice shaking.
I had you in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid.
God's voice came back, calm but steady.
Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?
Adamu hesitated, then said,
The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it.
The words hurt, but I knew I was just as guilty. God turned to me, his eyes full of sadness.
What is this you have done?
I could barely speak, my voice a whisper.
The serpent deceived me and I ate.
God's voice became heavy as he looked at the serpent lying there.
Because you have done this, cursed are you above all animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, between her children and yours. One of her descendants will crush your head and you will strike his heel.
Then God turned to me. I held my breath, knowing that things would never be the same.
I will make your pain in childbirth very great. You will desire your husband, but he will rule over you.
The words settled in my heart like a weight, a pain I couldn't fully understand yet, but I knew it would follow me always. Then he spoke to Adamu, and I saw his face fall.
Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, the ground is now cursed because of you. Through painful labor, you will eat from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles, and by the sweat of your brows you will eat your food until you return to the ground. For dust you are, and to dust you will return.
We had no words. God made us clothes from animal skins, covering us properly. But the garden, our home, was no longer ours. We were banished from it, separated from the life we had known, from the God who had walked with us. As we left Eden, I felt the weight of everything we had done, the cost of what we had chosen. I looked at Adamu and we held each other, but it wasn't the same.
Life was now full of struggle and pain. We knew good and evil, but we had lost our home, our innocence, and the closeness we had once had with God.